little bit different than from what we're used to in terms of, I mean, they still spread people out and everything, but they're not a team that throws it 50 times a game. Steve would rather run it 80 times a game, I think, is what he'd rather do. But again, you know, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, they're calling for not too good weather, you know, on Saturday night, a lot of rain and everything else. So, you know, you have to factor that into the equation a little bit too. But, you know, I know what their bread and butter is. Their bread and butter is they want to run the ball and play action, you know, and those are things that they want to do.
How important is this matchup for football in New England, in the Northeast?
Well, you know, my thing is it's you know, we get a chance to play, you know, Boston College, who's had a really good history of football at the highest level, and you know, we've kind of just been introduced to this level 10 years ago, 12 years ago, how many years ago it was, and again, it's a chance for us to compete against them and hopefully, you know, get a win. And I think it's good just because of, you know, being here in the Northeast and neighboring states and those things, that we get an opportunity to play them. So we just got to hopefully take advantage of that opportunity and see what happens.
And this is a game you want to see on a yearly basis? I know you made that statement.
I would have no problem playing Boston College on a yearly basis. You know, that wouldn't be any issue with me, but I'm not the guy who makes those decisions.
How has Pindell grown as a leader of the offense, commanding the huddle and those sort of things?
Again, I think, you know, as I said, he's a guy that's gotten more comfortable. You can see that in the way he played. I just think that, you know, anytime that you do something and you continually do it over and over and over again, you should get confidence in doing that. And I think with all those reps that he's had in practice, and he had a chance to sit back and evaluate what happened in that first game. You know, David's a conscientious young man who wants to do well, who has a lot of pride, you know, and he took the coaching, took all those things and put it together and took advantage of the opportunities he had. And, you know, and like I said, I think, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's hard, you know, it doesn't matter. You come in from a situation that maybe he put too much pressure on himself, wasn't as comfortable, you know, with things. And now, like I said, I just saw Saturday, I saw a guy that was a lot more confident, you know, out there and played with a lot more confidence than what he did in that first ball game, which was good to see, because we knew he had talent, and we knew he has the ability, and there's things that he just has to continue to work on to get better at.
What about their pass rush? Landry's being touted as a pretty highly drafted kid, and Zach Allen's a...
Yeah, he hasn't played. Zach Allen's really good. I mean, Landry hasn't played a lot, I don't think, the last 2 weeks. I don't think he's played the last 2 weeks. But he's definitely a guy that can rush the passer and does a good job. But, you know, Zach Allen is a force, you know, as well.
Santana Sterling listed as the starter. How do you see his progress this year? What does he do well?
Smart guy, understands how people, you know, are going to attack you. He's got a nose for the ball, and usually is where he's supposed to be.
Just to circle back to Brian for a moment, when a player comes upon his last game, it's really sudden in his case. In other cases, you know exactly when your career is going to end. But just how emotional of an experience is that, do you think, to know that something you've been dedicated to for so long is now over?
We talked about that a little bit this morning, you know, when he came in, and I said, you know, everybody's career is going to end at some point in time, and when it does, the one thing that you want to be able to do is walk away healthy, and you know, he's going to be able to do that, and you know, I think that he's at peace. I know he's at peace with himself from the standpoint that you know, that he did everything that he could to be the best player and the best teammate that he could be. And that's really, you know, the thing that's important. And, you know, because, like I said, football ends, but now you got to go on with life at some point in time. And I think he's going to be well equipped to be able to do that and be successful. But it's hard. You know, it's hard anytime as he said, you play a game since you were this high, and all of a sudden, but like I said, I think with him, you know, he's at peace with himself and understands that this is something that he really didn't have any control over. And it's the nature of the sport. Like I said, he's at peace with himself. And you know, I think the one thing is he appreciates what the game of football has done for him as a person, and how the game and the sport has helped him grow and develop as a young man, and where that will lead him, you know, now being a father and, you know, down the road.
On his radio show yesterday, Steve Edsall was asked about how this game impacts recruiting. He responded by saying, "We're in the ACC. If you're a good player, you want to play at the highest level of football. We don't recruit against UConn." Any thoughts on that statement?
That's what he said. You know, that's what he believes. It's his prerogative to be able to say that. You know, I'm not going to get into that. He's right. They are in the ACC, and but that's what he believes. So.
Anything else, guys?
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.